Jeffrey Epstein had a girlfriend called Ghislaine Maxwell.
How old was she?
She was of age.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's not underage.
No.
Okay.
Ghislaine Maxwell was very much the accomplice in this.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And was the mutual friend of Prince Andrew in this scenario.
Okay.
And, well, we don't know. Prince Andrew says the mutual friend that introduced him to Jeffrey Epstein in 1999. Because Ghislaine Maxwell went to university in the UK. And said that Prince Andrew said that he would see Epstein two to three times a year, and said that he would use Epstein's house in the United States whenever he would go over, because Epstein was very wealthy and had big houses, so he said he would use them. And Andrew said that when he would go over to the houses and they would have dinner parties, everyone from every background you could imagine would be there, rich and powerful people. He said that he trusted Epstein as a friend. He said that and apparently in the year 2000, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein was Prince Andrew's guests for at Windsor Castle.
Oh, bring out my picture.
Oh,
Chip can pull it up for the viewers. This is the picture I was talking about. Okay, so that is Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We all know about him.
Yeah.
Possible future video.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein and what was her name?
Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell.
So that's them three. Now, them three together, that's fine.
Yeah.
That you'd expect them together. It's where they are that makes this picture interesting.
Go on.
Princess Beatrice's 18th birthday.
Whoa.
I'm getting onto that.
Yeah,
so
like, it's fair enough Prince Andrew being like, oh, I was in places he was, but like everyone got invited. No, for this, you're in charge of the invites, and you were invited three known sex offenders.
Anyway,
go on.
So he said he trusted, and he was the, like I said, he was the guest, and he actually arranged a shooting weekend for this Ghislaine, and obviously Epstein attended. And Andrew has been to his Jeffrey Epstein's island, which has been now termed the Sex Island.
Oh, Jesus.
Which Ghislaine apparently has, how would you say, brought girls in.
Yeah, sex traffic.
Shipped girls.
Shipped girls into.
Sex traffic.
Traffic girls into.
Trafficked, I think is the word.
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah. And Epstein, as you just shown, was invited to Andrew's daughter's, Beatrice's, 18th birthday, post the arrest warrant from 2007, I think it was, for the sexual assault of a minor.
Why would
2008.
you invite a nonce to your young daughter's birthday?
So Andrew's response to the interview was, "Oh, I was asking Ghislaine, and I was not aware of the arrest warrant that was going on in America." Oh,
sure.
Who believes that?
No one.
Not me.
No, neither do I. Anyway, he says after the 2008 conviction, he stopped all contact until 2010, until he stayed at the mansion. And he says he went there to tell him he couldn't see him again. Yeah. Because he said he couldn't do it over the phone because that was the chicken's way out.
It's
obviously.
Not breaking up with someone.
Yeah, I know. He said to him it was inappropriate, and Epstein was understanding because Epstein was a good friend. He was understanding. Obviously, he's a good guy, Epstein. Good guy.
He's just a top person.
But here's the thing. Andrew was there for 4 days and was the guest, and he was the guest of honour at the dinner party. And when the interviewer said, "So why? I thought you were there to break up the friendship. Why did you stay for a 4-day party and the guest of honour?" And do you know what Prince Andrew's quote was in return?
It was convenient.
Yeah, something along the lines of it was polite or.
No, he said but he was like, I think what it is my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable. What?
No.
That interview was just a car crash.
Yeah.
That was his way to try and explain his way out of it. I'm too honourable to just tell you you're a nonce, and I need to leave. I need to go.
You need to be honest.
Also, by the way, when the interviewer asked him if it was the royal family that gave him the order to break it off, he looked petrified.
Wow.
He looked like he shit himself. Yeah. he looked like no me. I did it. No. Anyway, so apparently when there was this like 4-day weekend, it was like, oh yeah, we're having a great time. Apparently, lots of people saw lots of young girls going in and out.
Of course.
And apparently, there was someone there. I forgot what he was called. What was he called? John Brookman. Somebody along the lines of that name. If in the comments, if you know what he's called, Brookman. Apparently, the guy saw him getting a massage by a young Russian girl, not woman, girl.
This is making me feel really sick.
That's how he was. That's how the girl was described. Yeah.
I feel sick.
Do you want to see a picture of Prince Andrew for the palace's Christmas calendar?
Yeah.
It might not be the Christmas calendar, but it's a calendar the palace put out.
You need a special folder for...
I know, I need pictures for this.
Just to be clear, we're not going through Ryan's special folder.
I found it. This was his page in the palace.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, don't worry. When you see it,
especially
when you realise what sort of person he is,
knocks me sick.
Anyway, so the main woman that came forward, as I'm sure you probably both heard of, is Virginia Roberts.
Yeah.
She's like the main one that's like brought it to light. Anyway, so apparently she met Andrew in like 2001. And like the main date that's been floating around, which has become a bit of a meme, is 10th of March. Because we all know he remembers it off the top of his head.
Yeah.
Because apparently she said that she was like sort of brought along, I think, by that Ghislaine. And was like met and like wined and dined basically by Andrew.
Yeah.
And like taken to a club called Tramp. Yeah. Makes sense.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds like a great night.
I probably would go to a club called Tramp.
Yeah. And then taken back to his, well, obviously not his, but taken back somewhere and basically had sex with him. And she remembers it perfectly because apparently he was sweating profusely on him.
Can't sweat though, can he?
No. Well, we'll get into that.
Okay.
I've heard about the sweat.
Can't sweat. Couldn't sweat.
Well, yeah. So apparently, yeah. Well, she said, "Oh, I remember him sweating all over me." And Andrew's response to that was, "Oh no. Well, go on. Why can't you sweat?"
Can't sweat because he was in the Falklands and dodged a bullet or was shot at.
He was shot at,
and he had like an overdose of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And he couldn't sweat, but he's worked really hard over the years to be able to sweat again, and now he can sweat. So if you see him sweating, that's not him lying. That's him working hard to sweat.
I feel like that's just not a thing. We should ask the doctor in our office.
If you know about this,
if there's anyone out there that knows if this is a real thing, please comment and prove us wrong.
Yeah, we're happy to hear. Like
because we work in the scientific field and we've never heard of it.
Yeah.
We're not hormone experts.
I can hear like maybe you losing the ability to sweat, but then regaining it.
But I can only imagine that happening if like you close up all of your pores.
Like I know you can get Botox injuctions under your armpits because people that sweat a lot.
That's only I've never heard of
that's paralyzing the pores.
Yeah, but I've never heard of like that happening because of adrenaline.
No, unless you had some sort of, I guess, born with, like, I don't know, hormonal, adrenal imbalance.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, I've never heard of, like, you like getting an adrenaline spike because of something like that.
Conveniently.
And then
I can see him having a lot of adrenaline if he was shot at performance, but I've not heard of that leading to that. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not like you go down a roller coaster and all of a sudden you're just like, oh.
Yeah, the thing you get from adrenaline is usually exhaustion.
Yeah.
Because it pushes everything up and then you're like, ugh. But, yeah. Let us know.
Yeah. Sounds like a real thing to us. Anyway, but he originally said, he was like, oh, yeah, I don't know her. There's no way that could have happened because, 10th of March, I know when that happened. 10th of March 2001. Yes, I was with Beatrice at a Pizza Express in Woking. And then we went to a party at 4 or 5 p.m. and we left, and
I just feel like the royals don't go to Pizza Express. That's
that's why he
remembers it. He said
the date and Pizza Express.
Because the interview was like, how do you remember that?
Someone like me
doesn't go to Woking. Woking? Yeah.
Never mind Pizza Express. Woking.
That's exactly what he said. He was like, do you think I go to a Pizza Express in Woking? I'm a royal. So that's the main part. And the other bit was, he got shown a picture of him walking through London with his arm round Virginia Roberts. Yeah. This is my favourite one of them all, of just like pure shithousery from him. And he was like, oh, well, I'm not saying it's doctored, but I'm obviously out in London at this point. And she was like, yes. And he's like, oh, well, whenever I go out in London, I wear a shirt and tie. And I'm wearing my travel clothes. So that can't be real. And then pushes the photo back. And I'm like, that is the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life.
He's never stepped out into the air of London.
That is the worst.
Shirt and tie.
That is the worst excuse I've ever heard in my entire life. I see where it's coming from. That is the worst excuse I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
I just think it's pure shithousery. But yeah. But anyway, so I think rolling this all together, bringing it all together as one.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a lot going on with Andrew and Epstein. I think there's so much that he was just trying to skate around, and I think that interview did him no justice. And I think he was obviously if you watch that interview back, I mean, we can link in the description if you want. We can link that interview.
I don't see how you've not seen it.
But if you haven't, give it a watch. It's definitely worth. It's a long video, but it's definitely worth a watch. There's some bits that we haven't touched upon because we've talked a lot more about the background of Jeffrey Epstein. But he looks scared when you talk about the royal family. He does look scared when things are brought up, and I think there's more to it than people are talking. And maybe I think Jeffrey Epstein knew so many people, and I do honestly think somebody's had him killed off. I really do.
Yeah, my only issue with the whole someone killing him is why make it so blatant.
Because I think he was on the verge of telling someone, and I think your only other option is he tells someone and blows it. Because I think at that point, because he was going down, because he couldn't buy his way out of it this time, because he tried to pay off 600 million and they said no, because when he tried to pay off that 600 million pound bail, the judge said no, you're a threat and you're a flyer, and he was like, this is it, I'm going down. The only other option he had was to give a deal. That was it. That's the only thing he had. And I think he knew so many powerful people. He could have named off. He could have named off. I'm not going to say who he could have named off, but he could have named off. Presidents. He could have named off powerful people.
I absolutely understand why he was killed.
Yeah.
I question the method. I have got a conspiracy theory that I've heard, if you want to.
Yes, please.
It's what we're all about. Yeah. Right, so I'll try and explain it. So, the fact it happened so blazing is like, he's on suicide watch, and then he's killed, and it's like, he's on suicide watch, someone's had him killed, right, and stay with me here, is that they want our current system of government and justice to look really corrupt and bad, because the companies eventually want to take over and become new governments. So instead of having, like, if you're in America, Democrats and you Republicans, you have Amazon, Google, Apple. So if you have this current system looking so corrupt, the people are going to want to get rid of it, and it makes it a lot easier for these companies who we use daily. I go on Amazon daily, got my Apple phone, Google.
The only issue,
I'm not saying. I'm just putting it out there. That's a theory that exists.
The only issue that I have with that is that I think nobody would bat an eyelid at him dying because he's such a bad guy.
Oh, Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, at the end of the day...
You'd have to kill somebody that's a really good guy to do that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone shed a tear for him. I'm glad he was killed.
Yeah.
One way or another. I think the upsetting thing about it is that he had names. He could name names. He could tell a lot of stuff. And we've been robbed of that.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that are getting away with it because he's been killed.
Yeah. I think it's more likely that one of his names had him killed, obviously.
I am 100% of the belief that one of his names was scared that because I reckon one of the names had so much to lose, so much to lose, and just I don't know if it's thought let's maybe I probably had one of the guards involved. Because maybe turned off the camera because the camera system. I didn't mention that the camera systems were turned off.
Yeah.
Camera systems were turned off. Didn't mention that earlier on. Forgot to mention that. Sorry, guys. The camera systems were turned off, so nobody knows what happened there. You don't know. All you have to do is either pay the guards enough money or threaten them. And I reckon it was a threat because you can't pay someone enough to take 20 years in prison, but you can threaten them.
Oh yeah,
threaten their families.
I was gonna say these people are like the mafia and gangs like that, are powerful enough to be like, you do what we say, or we'll kill your family. Yeah. These billionaires who have got all these connections can do way more than that. They can absolutely destroy your life and everyone you. So I do agree with that.
So I think now we get to our final voting system. So I think we need to tell the guys what we do now.
Okay.
So at the end of our little show, we give it a NUPS rating. So Ryan, please explain the rating system.
Okay, the NUPS rating, NUPS, N for no-go. This is a theory that we think's got no validity. It's a bit too wild, no concrete sources, so we don't put any stock into it. U means we're unsure. There's a few things that we think, oh, that's credible, that makes sense. But overall, there's not enough there for us to say that's true. Now, when we move to P, we get potential. So this is a conspiracy that has a lot of solid sources. It makes a lot of sense. It's not too wacky. And we think potentially it is true. And then with S, that's solid. That is us putting the NUPS stamp of approval on it as fact. There's concrete sources, it makes perfect sense, and even if no one has come out and said this is true, we're saying it's true.
Okay.
So on at home as well, we'll put a little poll up, and you can all vote for what you think today's little talk was. NUPRS. So as well, I would for our guys as well. I would like you to vote on two different parts to this.
Yep.
So, because I talked about the money income and how he was killed, this is what we're mainly talking about. I'm going to ask you the two parts, and I want you to tell me what you think. So, money. I think it mainly came from blackmail and belonging to intelligence rather than his apparent, money making. What do you give that as a NUPS rating?
The blackmail and intelligence work. I give that personally. I'm gonna give it a P.
Okay.
Definitely potential. I can see how someone earns money from those two routes, but I do feel like I don't understand the financial world that well, and I do know there's certain jobs which I don't understand.
I think that would also move into like money laundering as well.
I feel like he may have began with the money, and once you get certain amounts of money and contacts, then those other avenues. So I think it's a bit of both. I feel like some finance came from that work, but that as well. So that's why I'm giving it a P.
Okay.
I'm gonna go U.
Okay.
U.
That's fair.
Want to elaborate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just U.
Just a U.
I'm just unsure. I feel like the next bit I'm gonna say P.
What's the next bit?
So, do you think Jeffrey Epstein was killed by the royal family / a higher up organisation /
Can I have P / S?
Yeah, you can. / organisation / higher up that wanted to keep their name off the books / records.
Royal family, U.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't see them as being the main party concerned, and if they were, it's gone really bad for them.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would have handled it a bit better.
Yeah,
Had experience with that in the past. Maybe a future video there.
Don't know who you could be talking about, Ryan.
In terms of a bigger not corporation, but entity doing it, S. I'd say S, almost 100%. I just don't have proof. Neither does anyone. Otherwise, we'd have more answers.
Okay.
Are you going for?
I said
P/S.
So all three of us, and I think it's S. So all three of us are from the proof that I've given you today. All three of us are in agreement. He did not kill himself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That it wasn't suicide.
I don't think it was suicide.
No, I don't think it was suicide.
No.
Okay.
I think he was killed.
Okay.
Thank you very much for watching, guys.
Tune in next week. Like, subscribe, comment. If you think that we were wrong or we've missed anything, blatant, obvious errors, please let us know. And if you want us to talk about anything else, put in the comments.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Come back next week.